Today we'll be talking about toners. Do you need toners? We're going to be talking about essences, mists. Are there real differences from toner to essence to mist? If these questions interest you, I'm sure this is going to be an interesting video. It's a product category which I'm very fond of, so I even gathered around my place how many toners I had, and I could only fit them into my Halloween basket from Fortnum and Mason. This is like a picnic basket, and I have 20 toners in here. So this is going to be not only hopefully enjoyable, but also embarrassing. Stay there.
Oh!
Hi skincare people, welcome back to DH Traveler, welcome back to the channel where we ask every week what is that skin wanted before marketing got in the way. For those of you who are first visitors, welcome here. I'm Custodio, I work in the skincare industry for 30 years, the last 15 years almost working in product development, and today with the help of my special effects t-shirt, if I like it, if I dislike it, we will be communicating with this little heart patch here. But let's get serious. Maybe let's go historically and understand why maybe toners today need to be rethought and seen under a different light. But I already have my bias. I confess that I like toners. I don't think in my maybe last 30 years of my life there was a day which I have not used at least one toner in the morning or in the evening. So historically, as I say, maybe toners make less sense today because toners were meant to be the second step after cleansing. But when cleansing, and we are thinking decades and decades ago, cleansing was mostly two things. Either you would cleanse with a cold cream, and the cold cream is a typical formulation which is using quite a lot of an oil phase, and you melt that cream with your skin temperature and a little massage, a bit like the double cleanse first step. It's not something which was invented now. And then to remove that oil, you needed something which would be a bit astringent, and that's why classically a lot of toners had high levels of alcohol, because the alcohol was used exactly to degrease, to remove the cold cream and the makeup and the pollution, whatever was on the skin. Or cleansing would be a soap, and that soap was too alkaline. So toners not only were degreasing, but they were also resetting the pH. That's why classically toners are seen like a necessity to give back to skin a more acidic pH, because the soaps being alkaline were bringing the pH above even the neutral, the 7, and we needed to bring it back to 5.5 around that. Well, cleansers today are not cold creams, so they are even oils, but oils that you emulsify simply with water, and they don't leave residue behind. So you don't need the alcohol to degrease. That's one reason maybe a toner is not needed. And soaps and foaming cleansers are no longer so alkaline. They are actually, and they can even be quite acidic if needed. You can have nowadays cleansers, as you know, that contain salicylic acid, that contain glycolic acid. So it's not true that you need a toner for setting the pH. So where do I stand that I think toners are needed? Well, maybe I should not say that they are needed. So, but are they favoring skincare? Are they interesting? Are they intelligent for skin? And there, I think the answer is yes. Because a toner mimics very much the hydrolipidic film. So that film, skin likes very much films. Actually, when we think a moisturizer, when you think an SPF sunscreen, everything should be very filmogenic, should spread very even on the skin surface. That's what the organ called skin likes, because that's the way skin behaves. Toners, which are very high on hyaluronic acid, glycerin, niacinamide, those beneficial ingredients are delivered in a very, I would say, bio-respectful, bio-appropriate way. That's why I like toners. I think toners are a way to deliver active ingredients in an interesting way and to have that film set, that moisture level, that balance. Oily skins can also benefit a bit from some oil control, which is very appropriate to be done as a film on the skin surface. So you can also disperse some oil absorbing particles, technologies, and powders. What about essences? How are essences different from toners? And when I come back to my box with my 20 products, I'm sure I will find some toners which feel more like essences and some essences which feel more like toners, and some of them, being toners, are superior to some less well-formulated essences. So what I want to tell you is that, and coming from a brand developer and someone working in the industry, these things are not regulated. So I really want to set the record right. And I come back to the same. One man's trash is another man's treasure. So under the name toner, you can have superior, beautifully formulated concoctions. Under the name essence, you can have poor products which do not deliver much results. So theoretically, the difference would be that an essence would be a formulation in between a toner and a serum. So it would be more textured, it would contain higher percentages of active ingredients, beneficial, anti-aging, skin regulating type of ingredients, and that would draw the line. A toner, it would be a step for cleansing. An essence would be a step for empowering your skincare and your results. So this is the theory, but I really want to say it straight and to your face, eyes to eyes, this is not regulated. So either you trust the brand and you trust the product under your own terms, but I can tell you as a brand developer, I can name my product whatever I want. Nobody's going to ask me any questions. Okay, you call it an essence, but where is this percentage of this or that ingredient? You call it a toner. Brands can call products whatever they want to call in this category. So not to say that essences, and I will show you some essences actually I like very much, and I think when well done, essences are actually what I think toners nowadays should be. Exactly as we've seen, toners maybe no longer make so much sense as simply a step after cleansing. So toners or essences, whatever names, so whatever that product which is before the other skincare product, so to create that film, it should be offering more than cleansing and perfecting your cleanser. So essences or toners, I think they should deliver more. You should be more demanding, and mostly I tend to like essences more than the toners, just because some of them, but keep that in mind, some toners are superior to some essences. Just to make it more complicated, then you have the acidic toners, which are exfoliating, chemical exfoliators containing glycolic, salicylic acid, polyhydroxy acids, malic, tartaric, coming back to the alphas, lactic, whatever. They should not be called toners actually, because they are much more essences, treatment essences, and not toners for sure. So a product with glycolic acid, salicylic acid, it's not a cleansing type of product. It should really be thought like a more treatment. So just to make it complicated, but this reinforces the idea I gave you first. Take them one by one, judge them in your own terms. Don't get too much carried by these categories. It's like, you know, I remember when the BB creams and the CC creams and even the DD creams showed up, there was all this content going, the difference between a BB, a CC, and a DD. And these are only names. Those things are not regulated. As long as something is not regulated, what does it go? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Mists. Mists, in my eyes, they are nice to do, nice gestures, which are toners in a spray bottle. Of course, you can have, again, mists. I will only show you one spray, one mist, one true mist in my basket, so I'm not really sold into that too much. I prefer the idea of a more superior toner essence that I apply in the palm of the hand twice a day or in the morning, and that's it. So I'm not so much feeling the need for those mist sprays. I think they are just a lifestyle feel, but if you think differently, by all means, love your mists. We are talking skincare. You know, sometimes I feel like saying this is not to cure cancer, to eradicate HIV. This is skincare. So if there is something I don't like and you love, or there is something I love and you don't like, by all means. That's why there are so many products out there. But just don't sell your soul to these product categories, believing that there is a line which separates them from an R&D perspective, from a qualitative perspective. You have to take them one by one. Okay, so I guess it's time for my embarrassment to come back with my little. That's the only basket I had in the house. I could not simply bring them on a tray or anything similar like that. So what do I have here? Let's start from the end. Let's start from the mist. The only real mist I have, it's Zero Zinc, which is La Roche-Posay. This is a surprising, the heart stays, very unknown product to most people, which are not so much skincare junkies. So it's the La Roche-Posay water, but with zinc sulfate. This is great for oily combination skin like mine, if you need not only throughout the day, but even to fulfill your cleansing, or sometimes in the morning, if I'm really in a rush, you just refresh and spray a good serum with antioxidants, my vitamin C, my essential serum from Swissline, my sun protection, and I'm out of the door. So the heart stays. Let's go where, well, I have a lot of acidic toners, so the ones I mentioned to you. So let's get the acidic toners out of the way. I already told you I don't think they are toners. I think they should be called acidic essences, even if they are not high textured, but because they are so treatment related. So my all-time favorite, my own Resurfacing Water from Age Intelligence. So this is one I covered in the channel many times. 10% glycolic acid, madecassoside, also lipids and elements, sugary to coat your skin. So this is a nighttime replacement for the toner. That's how I define it. Of course, the classic Biologic Research P50. This is the US P50 1970, which I don't use that much. I use this guy much more often. Still as the acidics. I told you I have several acidics. The two classics from Paula's Choice. So the 2% BHA, this is one that everybody knows, great for oily skin, really something that, like these guys, I alternate all of them because I like to have this change of molecules. So one glycolic, one salicylic, phenolic even, but I don't use it that much. There is another less known from Paula's Choice, which is the pore refining treatment 2%, but it's from the Resist line. So not only you have the 2% salicylic acid, but you also have peptides and you have a bit more engineered anti-aging. So actually I prefer this one as the 50-year-old man I am than this one. If you are like a more acne prone skin, you are more the younger combination skin, I think this one is much more direct. It's a bit more intensive, even if the concentration of the salicylic acid is the same, but this one I feel it much more direct. This one it's a bit softer on the skin, still acidic. I think I have more too. So there is the Medicate Press and Glow, the polyhydroxy acid, the PHA, that's what I wanted to say, tonic. I don't use the pump, so I really don't like the pump because I don't use cottons, and I think cottons are useless unless you remove makeup, but I don't need to remove makeup, so I can get away just with my hand. So just if someone from Medicate is listening, I know the concept is press and glow, so you should press a pump here with your cotton discs, but people who don't want to use the cotton discs, they buy the refill, but then I tell you guys, the refill neck, it's a pain. It drips down because it's not really meant to pour. It's meant to be a refill, I know, but maybe that's something that you could consider. And to close the acidic toners, the Murad Replenishing. I mentioned these when I was talking about the tranexamic acid. So it's a biphase, glycolic, tranexamic, salicylic. All of them I alternate. These are not toners, these are acidic toners. And you see my heart is still in place. We need special effects. Shall we try to get some special effects? Okay, so let's go to more, let's say, moisturizing type of hydrating type of toners. So let's go Kiehl's. I bought this because of the packaging last Christmas. I know I'm stupid. I know it's a skincare junkie move. It's ridiculous. This is the classic product. That's why, because I was tempted by the Christmassy packaging. So I thought, so right away, just that you know, I really don't like this. I barely used it. This is a classic from Kiehl's. That's why I was curious to use it. Basically, when you see that you have water and you have some solvents on top, and then you have 3 preservatives after the water before any active ingredient. So this in my book, it's kind of a formulation. I understand it's a classic. This is something from maybe decades ago, but it doesn't make sense. So I didn't really feel much out of this, so that's why we stay the way we are here. For instance, another one was I was toying the other day with, I did a video about Centella asiatica, and I wanted to try some products because we are very keen on madecassoside and products based on Centella asiatica molecules here at my brand Swissline. So the video is here comparing Cica creams, Centella asiatica, madecassoside. So from Purito, I tried a few products. That's the perfect example. It's called Centella Unscented Toner. And I don't know if you can see the viscosity. It's an essence thicker than any other essence which might be here in my box. It's a beautiful toner, don't take me wrong. I don't sell my soul to these Centella. I prefer much more the isolated madecassoside. That's what that video debates. But as a moisturizing toner, as a calming toner, a soothing, more cleansing step, more in the classic way, without any of the drawbacks. If you have a dehydrated skin, a sensitive skin, this is also very friendly in terms of budget. Thinking about budget, this guy, it's also kind of friendly in terms of budget. Nothing else I showed you, it's budget friendly under the same terms, but it's like 50 years old, you do a little bit more investment eventually. Thinking about budget and then very good quality, I would show you 2 Japanese essences. This one I covered oftentimes in the channel is the Adalabo Hyaluronic Acid. Again, I'm tempted by packaging. You start seeing how shallow and superficial I'm in my life. So this is the Snoopy edition, which I have refilled with refills I buy online from Japanese store. And then I refill this bottle. So this is the classic blue hyaluronic acid, tranexamic acid, Adalabo for dehydration, a bit of redness, pigmentation control. This is the Melano CC. There is a cult in Japan around this line, which is owned by the group actually owning Adalabo. So these are all emporium, gigantic Japanese manufacturers which do perfect hyaluronic acid and vitamin C, Melano CC. Estée Lauder, so a brand I seldom feature on the channel. This is something that caught my eye in Asia, and I bought it there before it was sold internationally. This is already maybe 2 years old, not this bottle, this is more recent. The idea here, it's a ferment and a probiotic type of formulation. That's an interesting, very bougie, very high-end, very heavy type of bottle. If you're on a budget, it doesn't make any sense. If you want to invest a little bit in this direction, I will show you from my own Swissline. There is this, again, the same idea. We did this many years ago, which we only sell in Asia. Ultimate Radiance, which is like a fermented grape water together with some enzymes and a lot of minerals, trace elements. So we adapted with a different version with more kombucha, more so the boosting essence, the same base of the fermented grape, which is actually a French ingredient obtained from, oh, what am I doing? No, this is love. Love is down. Love is down. Did I? No. So you know that it was only the Kiehl's. So far in my box, only the Kiehl's was not the winner. But coming back to this guy, I think it's a very interesting essence. In terms of texture, it's almost like the texture of a toner. The idea here is much more than texture. The idea of vitality and boosting things with the kombucha, which is an anti-glycation type of technology together with the grape. So a lot of fermented ingredients here. The soy proteins, the isoflavones, I would say this is like a luxury essence for mature skin, like my own. So what am I still missing here? There's still some bits and pieces. Well, these are presented as mists, but I don't think the formulation claims in any way to be a mist. Actually, this one does, superoxidodismutase saccharide mist. So this is NIOD, you know, so DECIEM, the same company behind The Ordinary. I really like this to me as a toner. I use it more when I feel skin tired, dehydrated. It's an interesting product. From Murad with vitamin C, I would say it's nice, but if you want my honest opinion, comparing these two, and if you check the prices, it's exactly one of these cases. If you are on a budget, you go very, very well with these. You don't need to invest more if you are not so much on a budget. This one is for sure an interesting vitamin C type of mist. Just to close it, and I cannot promise to give it right away to you, I have here in the box a Brightening Essence with diamonds, something which will come out in September. So keep your eyes peeled for what's coming next in terms of essences. This is a truly thick, soaked with hyaluronic acid, those diamonds, niacinamide, ectoine, which is a microorganism existing in salt deserts, tranexamic acid, so very interesting. Wait for it until September. So I hope this slightly disorganized and crazy, just with one special effect. So mostly everything in my box I love. We should love more than dislike, but sometimes we buy products that we dislike. So I hope this was useful. I hope amid this all mess, you understood that I want to be loyal to you in terms of what I say. So not trying to sell you these product categories. Personally, my position in the skincare industry is that a lot of these product categories are just what they are, product categories. And there are always products which totally set themselves out of the categories, and those are the best products. And those are never boring products. So let's together say no to boring products. Leave comments below about your toners, your essences, which are your favorites. I would be curious to know. And by the way, as I always want to share the magic, where is the magic? So leave a message and maybe you'll be the one to get the grape fermented kombucha water. Let's give away one free boosting essence from Cell Shock line. Shall we? Say no to boring skincare, and this is not boring skincare. Ciao. With box, without box, please consider following the channel. It would make me so happy. Activate the bell, you know the drill. Ciao.